Somebody just bring football back. I'm begging you at this point. Happy self-isolation to you all, and welcome to yet another installment of Football This Week. Now this, of course, is the series where I bring to you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer online and on social media during the course of the week. I'm still frauding a living completely. In fact, this, would you believe, is the 50th episode of FTW. Gotta say a massive thank you to you guys for supporting me through this section of FTW where there isn't any football, but also generally speaking, as always, you guys are just ridiculous. You're actually insane. I love you all, and hopefully we can get another 50 episodes out of this show. Now, I'll be honest with you, times are tough. YouTube is pulling all of its advertisements and nobody's earning anything whatsoever. So if you wouldn't mind, like and subscribe so that my parents are finally proud of me after not becoming a doctor. And did you know that over 163% of you watching are not subscribed right now? So if you hit that red button, I'm gonna be honest, the general world has experienced a lot this week. I'm not even gonna do a summary, but at least we were all in solidarity at one point, clapping for the NHS. That's weird. Usually I'm finding out that I have the clap from the NHS. Everyone was getting involved and joining together and unity, apart from Liverpool. We were too busy counting our furlough money to get involved in that, but we'll come on to that later. But we're starting off with Manchester City, and specifically Kyle Walker. The England international right-back decided that a quarantine scenario would be a phenomenal time to host a party involving... I'm not allowed to say this, but he literally just stressed to his followers on Twitter that they should all stay at home. What is wrong with these footballers? Hello? Hey, Kyle, listen. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, and we're all meant to be self-isolating, and if we all congregate together, we're probably gonna die. But I was thinking maybe this weekend we could congregate together, and you see those girls on that street corner there? I'm sold. What, you mean as in you don't play for Man City anymore? No, as in, no, I want to come to the party. Just call me back. Him and Jack Grealish actually make the ultimate dynamic duo.
This is urgent.
As if Kyle Walker has more clean sheets as a goalkeeper against Atalanta than his own home during quarantine. I just hope he washed his hands for 20 seconds afterwards. And also his... the good news though, it already seems like the test results have come in for Kyle and they're at least negative. I'm just fed up of these big names thinking they got rules of their own. You know, bigger than anyone else. If everyone else can stay in... If a significant portion of other people can stay in, then you can as well. Especially when you're then preaching online to your followers to do the same. You're a massive role model and you've got to take these things seriously. In fairness, he's probably never going to see these girls again, so that's social distancing of a kind. You know, beat and delete, drop your load, hit the road, ejaculate, then evacuate. I've got to stop. It also doesn't seem as if he got very good value for money. Mary's coming here with an absolutely stonking offer. I'm just going to quickly slide that. Oh, sorry, no, I didn't mean to leave the mic on. But from wrapping it up to just simply rapping now, sweet erection to beat selection. Fam, I've got bars. I should be a rapper myself. Right, anyway, listen, Jurgen Klopp has caused some controversy with some of his comments this week, and they revolve around him previously trying to sign Sadio Mane whilst at Borussia Dortmund. He said that because the Senegalese midfielder came into negotiations or met up with the German manager wearing like a baseball cap to the side and had a blonde stripe through his hair, he looked like he would be a rapper rather than a footballer. He was thinking more Gucci Mane, Sadio by XXXTentacion. That wasn't as good. Honestly, how I wish Jurgen Klopp had a Twitter account. So basically, I was hoping you'd be able to promise me a decent role for the future. I know I'm not necessarily... I wonder if this kid could spit a quick 32 ball.
Like who, what, where, nah, what, who.
Listen, if this is what he was thinking about sweet Sadio Mane, imagine what he thought when Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang arrived at Dortmund. Now, a lot of people have jumped on this because they're assuming it's a race thing. Now, I would like to imagine he hasn't thought Sadio Mane looked like a rapper because he's black. And to be honest, that wouldn't make that much sense to me, given I'm sure he's managed many black players in his time. I think it is genuinely down to the fact that he was wearing his baseball cap a certain way and had a certain look and aura about him rather than his skin color. I don't think it's a racist incident. I don't think Jurgen Klopp is a racist, but it definitely highlights stereotypes. And to be honest, as a Liverpool fan, like I'm saying this non-biased, I am actually a bit disappointed with Jurgen Klopp, even though he said it in a very jokey way. It wasn't meant to be serious, but he basically didn't think that he had the mentality to cope at Dortmund because he looked a certain way. It's just very judgmental. Like, I don't know why you would need to look at a player's dress sense and whether he looked like a rapper to determine his ability on the pitch. pitch. Continuing with the Liverpool bashing, and Atletico midfielder Marcos Llorente has named his new dog Anfield after he obliterated us there in the Champions League. It's gonna be a housery award, but Marcos, big man, if I see you on the streets, yeah, it's a wrap. In better Liverpool news, at least Mohamed Salah's been able to find a second job whilst he's not playing football. Now, former Chelsea fullback Wayne Bridge featured on the club's official account this week doing some TikTok dance, I don't know. Very interesting like there from John Terry. That's a bit awkward. I suppose it's not the first time he's double tapped on something that belongs to Wayne Bridge. Elsewhere, Jack Wilshere is keeping himself busy.
Oh! You're a professional.
We can confirm that after multiple tests, midfielder Jack Wilshere will be out for 27 months. It hasn't been a phenomenal week for managers staying out of the spotlight. Jose Mourinho's at it as well. He decided it would be a brilliant idea to organise a training session with 3 of his players in a park. Tanguy Ndombele, Ryan Sessegnon and Davinson Sanchez were the players in question. Apparently it was a one-on-one for Ndombele, and then Sessegnon and Sanchez happened to be running past at the same time. I guess Mourinho just couldn't help coming back to football once again.
I can't really enjoy it. I miss it.
Poor Ndombele, man. He even needs special training when we're in quarantine situation. As you can see, it wasn't going very well because that's actually Ndombele on the bike, and that is very factual and completely legitimate. Mourinho is getting a lot of stick for this, but honestly, training these 3 probably counts as essential work. The players were informed they had to keep 2 meters apart at all times, which they did. Thankfully, that doesn't affect how they would usually mark from set pieces, so that training drill wasn't affected at all. Nah, I'm kidding. Listen, they're all good players. They're just in pretty average form or a little bit inconsistent. I'm hearing Ndombele at the moment get substituted during training sessions, and that the player that dispossesses him the most in those sessions is actually one of the cones that's lying on the floor. Over in Germany, at least, Bayern Munich and Thomas Müller are sticking to the social distancing guidelines when signing that new contract this week.
And how do you want it? Show me, hold on, turn around. Stand up. Turn around. Right, and how do you want it?
Like Ronaldo's.
So you want it like Ronaldo's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seed! 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 Show me it! Show me it!
Dickhead!
Show me it! Seed, there's only one Ronaldo.
Now, you know me, I love to give Andreas Pereira grief. That's probably because he's the worst footballer in the Premier League. However, this week he's done something quite extraordinary. Nah, listen, this quarantine's gone too far. I'm saying nice things about Pereira. This explains why he plays so badly. The poor kid's got a hand for a foot. From one convicted Brazilian fraud to another though now, and Ronaldinho has been released from prison. I'm pretty sure he was in for some serious charges, but it doesn't matter. He can do Rabonas in the prison matches, so it's all good. I'm just trying to work out what this guy was expecting. That wall is like 90% glass. But do you want an escape from how terrible life is right now? Well, why don't we take a look back down memory lane with FTW Rewind, taking a look at what was happening this week many, many years ago. So on this week in the mid-thousands, Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer were involved in a welterweight boxing, Premier League football match between Newcastle and Aston Villa. They had a fight with each other. They weren't, like, teammates aren't meant to punch each other. Just to clarify that job. Back in 1999, then Liverpool striker Robbie Fowler celebrated a goal in the Merseyside derby by getting down on all fours and sniffing the grass as if it was a different kind of white line. Been watching too much Diego Maradona, young man. And in 2010, Chris Kamara gave us this absolutely beautiful TV moment.
There's been a red card, but for who, Chris Kamara?
I don't know, Jeff, has there?
I must have missed that.
Now, though, it is time for Still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now. This is the part of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League football, or amateur football. I think we're going to have to expand it to for now. We move to South Africa. Sources unknown. I just got told it was on Twitter, so don't hate me if it's not. And we've got some quite extraordinary but massively unnecessary skills. There's some serious issues going on here. Firstly, this child that is on the ball is 7 and has nutmegged a man of at least 24 years of age. But barring the age mismatch, are you telling me I had to witness all of that just for him to go backwards and play it into the holding midfielder? What was the point, little man? Elsewhere, Spanish commentators are trying to find ways to keep themselves busy. The Guardian asked that when football returns, will VAR rooms still be allowed to function given social distancing? Listen, if 22 men are allowed to play on a football pitch without social distancing, I'm pretty sure one man in a VAR room can do the same. And finally, just a thought on one of the forgotten men, Daniel Sturridge, who's currently serving a ban for gambling of 6 months at a time where there's no football happening to be banned from. But that, ladies and gents, is going to wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. As ever, I'm always open to your opinions. Let me know how you thought this episode was down in the comment section below. And if there's things or segments that you think I can add to this series, especially whilst football isn't happening right now, then drop them down there too. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.